Hello everybody, welcome back to Book of Kings, where we discuss topics such as history, religion, philosophy, psychology, culture, and more, and the way that they all interact with one another. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to receive a notification every time I release a new video. Hope you enjoy. When talking about modern intractable conflicts, there is one conflict which comes to mind more than any other as being unparalleled with regard to its length as well as its level of controversy and divisiveness, and that is the Israel-Palestine conflict. However, in order to adequately discuss the history of this conflict, one must start at the beginning, long before the modern antecedents for the conflict, with the ancient history of the region. While initially dominated by various Canaanite tribes, the region of Canaan would come to be dominated by the ancient Israelites. While initially comprising 12 tribes, the Israelites would eventually coalesce into one united kingdom known as the United Kingdom of Israel. While becoming a regional power under the rule of kings such as David and Solomon, this united kingdom would eventually split into two separate kingdoms, Israel or Samaria in the north, and Judah in the south, which the Jewish people get their name from. The kingdoms would be bordered by the Phoenicians to the north in modern-day Lebanon, the Edomites to the south in the Negev region of modern-day Israel, the Philistines to the southwest corresponding to the modern-day Gaza Strip and the modern Israeli city of Ashdod, the Moabites and Ammonites to the east, and the Arameans to the northeast. The northern kingdom of Israel or Samaria would be conquered by the Assyrians in 722 BC, resulting in mass numbers of the population being deported and foreign peoples from other parts of the Assyrian Empire being brought into the region, with the descendants of these peoples and the native inhabitants becoming the Samaritans. Judah would continue to exist in the south until 586 BC, when it would be conquered by the Neo-Babylonian Empire under Nebuchadnezzar II. The Babylonians would destroy their capital city of Jerusalem, as well as their sacred temple built by King Solomon, resulting in mass casualties and deportations of Jews to the empire's capital city of Babylon. Additionally, following the conquests, the Edomites to the south would settle in the Hebron region of Judea. The Neo-Babylonian Empire would soon be conquered in 549 BC by Cyrus the Great, founder of the Achaemenid dynasty of the Persian Empire, who would allow the Jews to return to their homeland in Judea, rebuild their sacred temple, which would be referred to as the Second Temple, and function as a satrapy or province of the Persian Empire with religious and cultural autonomy. The Persian Empire would eventually be conquered by Alexander the Great, and Judea would come under Greek rule, becoming a part of the Seleucid Empire. These Seleucids would attempt to Hellenize the region, imposing Greek culture upon the inhabitants of Judea, including the banning of circumcision. The Jews would rebel against Greek rule, initiating the Maccabean Revolt, and would establish an independent kingdom under the Hasmonean Dynasty, who would extend their dominion beyond Judea to Samaria, Idumea, Philistia, as well as the land east of the Jordan River. It was during Hasmonean rule that the Idumeans, or Edomites, would be forcibly converted to Judaism, with Hasmonean ruler John Hyrcanus demanding that they be circumcised and observe Jewish laws if they wished to remain in their homeland. Judea would eventually come under the dominion of the Roman Empire, first as vassals under the dynasty of King Herod, an Idumean, as well as his descendants, and then directly as a Roman province, additionally including regions such as Samaria and Idumea. Due to public dissatisfaction with Roman rule, the Jews in Judea would rebel against the Romans, beginning the First Jewish-Roman War from 66 to 74 CE. While briefly setting up a provincial government in Jerusalem, in 70 CE the rebellion would be crushed, the Jewish temple would be burnt to the ground, the entire city of Jerusalem would be destroyed, with all of the 600,000 to 1 million Jews of Jerusalem dying of starvation, being killed, or being sold into slavery. The Jews of the rest of Judea outside of Jerusalem would once again rebel against the Romans, initiating the Bar Kokhba Revolt from 132 to 136 CE, and despite their initial successes, the rebellion would inevitably be brutally put down by the Romans, resulting in the killing of an estimated 500,000 to 600,000 Jews, as well as the enslavement and expulsion of Jews from the countryside of Judea surrounding Jerusalem, who would join diaspora communities outside of Judea, such as those in Babylon and other regions of the Roman Empire, leading to the depopulation of the countryside and the end of Jewish settlement in the region of Judea proper. The province of Judea would be expanded to include the regions of Philistia and Galilee and renamed Syria Palestina. Jews would be forbidden from re-entering Jerusalem, with non-Jewish migrants from the neighboring regions of the Roman Empire of Arabia Petraea, Roman Syria, and the coastal plain settling in the region. In spite of this, Jewish population centers would continue to exist in surrounding regions, with the center of the Jewish population in the region shifting from Judea to Galilee in the north, which Jews formed around a quarter of the population of by 300 CE, as well as Jewish communities also continuing to be present in the southern Hebron Hills and the coastal plain. Jews would remain a majority in the region of Palestine until shortly after the conversion of the Roman Empire to Christianity in the 4th century CE, when a series of laws would be passed which discriminated against Jews, and Jews would be persecuted by the Church and Roman authorities. Such policies would result in the Jewish revolt against Constantius Gallus, ruler of the Eastern Roman provinces, from 351 to 352 during civil war in the Roman Empire. The revolt would inevitably be crushed and would result in the killings of Samaritans and pagan Greeks by Jewish rebels, and the killing of thousands of Jews, both rebels and civilians, by Roman forces. As a result of said persecution, many Jews would immigrate to more prosperous diaspora communities elsewhere, while the region would develop a unique status as a Christian Holy Land, with the local population eventually shifting to a Christian majority as a result of Christian migration and local conversions of pagans, Samaritans, and Jews, with this majority being clear by the 5th century. The Samaritans would engage in a series of revolts from the 5th to 6th centuries against the Byzantine Empire, which would succeed the United Roman Empire in the east, which would be brutally put down, resulting in a significant decrease in the population of Samaritan communities. By the end of Byzantine rule in the region, the majority sedentary Samaritans had been replaced by a Christian majority due to migration and/or the sedentarization of nomads. Prior to the 6th century, Jews would still make up a sizable portion of the population in the Palestina Secunda region, which broadly corresponded to the region of Galilee, along with Greek and Aramaic-speaking Christians. However, Galilee would eventually be replaced with a Christian majority as a result of Christian settlement in the vicinity of Nazareth, Capernaum, and Tabgha. The Jews would engage in a revolt against Roman Emperor Heraclius I in conjunction with the invading Sasanian Persian Empire during the Byzantine-Sasanian War of 602 to 628 in one last major attempt at regaining autonomy. The Jews would gain dominance over Jerusalem in 614, however the Persians would soon side with the majority Christians and return Jerusalem to them in 617. The Persians would soon be defeated by the Byzantines and expelled from Byzantine territory, and while Heraclius had promised the Jews that they would be pardoned for their revolt, he would soon go back on his promise, massacring thousands and expelling the Jews from Jerusalem. The region would soon be conquered from the Byzantine Empire by the Arabs, newly unified under the religion of Islam. The region of Palestine at the time was mainly populated by Miaphysite Christian peasants, additionally containing some Arab communities, and the area of Samaria would maintain a notable Samaritan population. The inhabitants of the region would gradually adopt the Arabic language and convert to the religion of Islam, eventually developing an Arabic-speaking Muslim majority over the course of the next few hundred years, with the region becoming fully Arabized by the 9th century, roughly 200 years after the conquests, aided at least partially by the presence of Arab settlements before and after the Muslim conquests, and having a Muslim majority by at least the 12th century. The region would, however, continue to maintain a small Jewish minority, including a portion of the Jewish population which returned after a 500-year absence. This now sets the stage for the origins of the modern Israel-Palestine conflict. Tune in next time to learn more. Thank you for watching. This has been another Book of Kings video. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon to receive a notification every time I release a new video. And if you enjoy Book of Kings content and would like to support the channel, feel free to donate to the Book of Kings Patreon account. Link is provided in the description.